The third baseman, number 5.
So we are up 3-0 in the World Series right now. Eduardo Escobar, looking to be World Series MVP at this rate.
In his last trip. First offering on its way.
Definitely him or Vogue. I'm leaning towards him. This run has not gone at all how I expected it to. Like, at all. I'll explain after this game. Damn, I just missed that one.
On the move is Springer.
Deepest part of the park. If I pull that thing, it's probably gone down the line.
To record the second out.
Now batting, designated hitter.
So 2 away for the D-backs here in the 6th. And that will bring in the left-handed hitting outfielder Cole Calhoun.
Just missed that one too.
High in the air into shallow left center. And he'll get there in
solid pitch to hit if I was looking more for it, a little bit higher. Who's on the mound? Robbie Ray? Cool.
Leading up for the Astros, the designated hitter, your dog.
This guy's been throwing the ball great so far. It's going to be tested here. 4, 5, and 6 coming up this part of the lineup.
Hot shot to third and handled for the first out.
Now batting, the third baseman,
I will set down Brighton and Chapin. One up Bradley and
yeah, Matty, and hopefully he got it out of his system. Especially now, he's got to bear down. He gets the 2 strikes in this spot. Has to put the ball in play.
There's a strike at the knees, 0-1. Counts even 1-1 to Alex Bregman.
Matt, I never got a commentary line about the Diamondbacks being back in the World Series. So I'll have to listen to that on my second playthrough when I play each team on beginner.
Still 1-2. Got him on the good slider there. Swung on and missed as he's down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. Here's Carlos Correa now. He hits
now
the 2 away as they continue to trail in this close game.
0-1. Correa.
Big hitting on the mound. He's had to face the middle of the order, and so far he's held them at bay.
Yeah, this feels like the kind of inning we'll look back on at the end of the game, even if the result of it changes dramatically here. A ball and 2 strikes now. Able to protect the plate with 2 strikes, and he'll see another one. The 1-2. Down the third baseline. Scooped up.
What a play by Escobar.
Is right there for the 3rd out, and a high degree of difficulty on that one as the side is retired.
Your attention, please.
On to pitch from
now
the
pitching
for inning number 7.
Number 51.
Here's the first pitch to him.
Threw it.
And he waves
Good
it over the
ball.
ball there. No balls.
Wasn't expecting 12-6 in that spot. That's a beautiful pitch.
Floats in a hole.
That's a
0-2 to him.
Wow. Okay, Austin Pruitt. Coming through with 2 amazing pitches back to back like that.
Around the knees like that.
Line to the right side.
And it left me a meatball that I couldn't do anything but hit a single with.
Hit, so maybe some insurance here to lead off the 7th.
Hey, this guy's having a big series in the postseason. It looks
the bat,
like to me
number 13.
The moment isn't too
Nick
big.
Ahmed went deep. Nice.
Ahmed.
Yeah, absolutely. Postseason monster right here. Having a huge...
And that's through for
Nick Ahmed's going to be a sleeper for postseason MVP. I feel like he's going to have a really high postseason average.
The center fielder, number 2.
So it's first and second now. Nobody out.
Marte's kind of went quiet.
You know, as a former infielder, Danny, they always say you can't be in 2 places.
The Martes and the well, Yelich didn't, but the Martes and Walker all 3 kind of went quiet in the postseason. It feels, but then got picked up by the bottom half of the lineup. I said that as Ketel Marte went deep again. So Marte actually worked his way into World Series MVP talk. He has 3 home runs in the series.
And it looks like this could be a critical at bat in this one.
Well, a glance at my scorebook shows they haven't been able to get him out yet. So this could be a fun at-bat to watch.
And now an RBI base hit. Oh, maybe not. Damn. I spoke too soon. I thought for sure that was through the hole.
George Springer,
give Robbie Ray a 1 batter lead.
Leading up for the Astros, the center fielder, George Springer.
There is Ahmed.
Nick Ahmed making plays at short. That's the other thing. Ahmed's got the defense and somewhat decent speed.
Now batting, the right fielder, Josh
Reddick. For
Reddick.
the 3rd time now as he takes a called strike. It's 0-1. That's in there, and he's deep in the hole now, 0-2.
The count, 0-2.
Well, he got the leadoff guy in inning on.
I thought Reddick was a switch hitter.
0-2 to
He decided to just perma lefty, or is he not a switch hitter? And I was wrong. I know it's got nice. I know Victorino used to be a switch hitter, Shane Victorino, and then he started to decide I'm just going to take all my at-bats as a right-handed hitter.
The first baseman, number 10, Julieski.
No walks up to this point. He's pounding that zone.
Boy, Robbie Ray.
The catcher grabs it to retire the side. The inning is over. So they go down without a whimper here. 8th inning coming up. Diamondbacks lead this one 3-1.
Your attention, please. Now pitching
bullpen,
for the Astros.
Do so to start the 8th.
Number 59.
So striding forward now.
Yelich 1 for 3.
Leading off for the Diamondbacks.
He's working on a
The
1
right
for
fielder,
3 thus far.
Christian
First
Yelich.
delivery to him on the way.
Yelich kind of quiet in the World Series. Damn, that was terrible.
Right around the home plate area. And he'll stay with it here as he puts the
Pathetic
squeeze
last
on
at
it
bat
for
of
out
the year, if
number
that
1.
is indeed his last at bat of the
Now
year.
batting.
So
The
coming
first
to the
baseman,
plate, Christian Walker.
Christian.
No
Yeah, the
hits
Christians
in
went
3
quiet in the
games
World
so
Series. Could
far.
tell it kind of bounced
Struck
back.
out once. This is line to left.
He's gonna get there.
Brent is right there as he'll put it away without much problem for the second out.
Now batting. The left
Now
fielder,
batting, David
David
Peralta
D-Train.
was
This is
retired
Peralta.
with a ground ball last time up.
D-Train,
Drive
indeed.
to right. There it goes.
Second deck again. Man,
Gone
crushing
into
the ball to right
upper
field.
deck.
Insurance run.
Well, that was his lineup's third
I
homer
love
of
his
the
home
game.
run swing.
Dero, some days the fellas walk in
Like,
with
hold
their
up. Let me see this one more time. This will be the last one with him. So he kind of just stands there, admires, and then watch the bat. Whoop! Like, I might change my road to the show player when I start doing that again to a lefty with his stance because of this and this alone. The way he just, like, very compact. This part here, the swing, the follow through, and then the immediate reaction, that part there is very Albert Pujols-esque in this game, at least. Like, that's what Pujols does as a righty. That. But then, admired that shit. Start walking and spin that bitch back. Love that.
Eduardo Escobar standing in. Bounce
Damn,
to the left
something
side.
for base of Escobar. Ah,
Onto the first
so I gotta
base,
think.
Gurriel, and that
I got
will
one running
end
first. I'm
the-
gonna think. Okay, we will
Stepping
go
in and ready for
to
another shot.
Leading off
Archie
for the
Bradley here in the
Astros,
8th.
He'll look to bounce
The
back
catcher,
after striking out.
Martin.
Keep Rondon up and warm up.
Archie
Pitch
Maldonado.
Pitch out of the bullpen
Ladies
in
and
the
gentlemen,
bottom half of
your
the eighth.
attention, please. And
In
now
there,
pitching
strike
for
one.
Arizona, number 25, Archie Bradley.
Fouled off.
How far is Arizona from Houston? Or Phoenix from
Wind up
Houston?
and the 0-2 pitch.
'Cause I know it's obviously,
He
you know, you
struck
gotta go
him
through
out.
New
The
Mexico
third time he's fanned in
and
the
then
game.
a solid
It's
part of
been a
Texas.
rough
But let me
night
check
at the yard
this.
for him.
Check
That's
this here.
3 times he's gone
Now
down on
batting.
strikes.
Chase
The
Field,
second
So
baseman,
they've really figured out
Phoenix,
how to
Arizona.
attack this guy.
Altuve.
directions from there. So we'll do from. We'll do fuck it, the other one. Minute, MIN, Minute Maid Park in Houston. Oh shit, it's a 16-hour drive still. I didn't realize. I keep forgetting how far in the eastern part of Texas Houston is. And southern for that matter. You're actually not in New Mexico for too long. Looks like about, I don't know, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Then also Chase Field is like right in the heart of Arizona almost, like the southern heart. So that's still a 16-hour drive. Or 1 day and 6 hours if you take trains.
Here's the second baseman, Jose Altuve.
I mean, flight-wise, that's got to be not too bad at all.
From him yields a foul pop out of play to the right.
He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Swing and a miss, and he's in trouble now. 0-2.
Got to find a way to scratch at least one across.
1 ball, 2
You do not
strikes.
want to take on the monster closing the game down 3.
Rounded down the third baseline, but this is a foul ball as the count holds steady at 1-2. And here's a ball hit in the air, and no one will track it down. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors in the ballgame for the Astros to this point. Down the first baseline.
You know, taking you inside the mind of a batter right here, you can't get an auto swing.
I got the count. 2 and 2.
You still have to control the strike zone.
Line to the right side, and that falls in for a solid base hit, his 2nd of the night. And maybe some miscommunication there as the throw zips right by him.
Dan, how frustrating that.
Now batting, left fielder, Michael Brantley.
Come on, Archie. Remember, you're supposed to be like one of the better closers in the game. I wouldn't say top 10,
could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far.
No, I wouldn't say top 10.
1 and 2.
Fastball, strike 3 called as he couldn't pull the trigger, and there are 2 away.
Runner on first and a double play
Up
situation.
next,
MLB Network put out their top 10
the
closers.
designated hitter,
So I think that
your
pitch
dog,
right there was a good one.
Alvarez.
Obviously, the double play is more efficient, but you're always going to take a K when you're on the mound.
Right now. Who was it? MLB Network's top 10 right now rankings entering 2020. Now I'm looking through this entire list. I'm gonna have to look at this later, like at another time. Second baseman, shortstop, starting pitchers. Relief pitchers. Do they not have closer specifically? No. Okay, so relief pitchers. So MLB Network's top 10 relief pitchers right now: Kirby Yates, Aroldis Chapman, Josh Hader, Liam Hendricks, Ryan Presley, Brandon Workman, Seth Lugo, Adam Ottavino, Taylor Rogers, Will Smith. So yeah, that's relief pitchers in general, though. Let me take a look at Can I look at just closers in baseball? MLB all 30 closers. Ranking all there. Okay, this is February. Okay. Josh Hader, Kirby Yates, Roberto Ozuna, Liam Hendricks, Aroldis Chapman, Ken Giles, Ken Lee. Let's see. Yeah, I'd put Josh Hader above Bradley. Kirby Yates, obviously. I hate to admit it, but Roberto Ozuna, the scumbag. Liam Hendricks, probably. Chapman, yes. Ken Lee, still yes. Ken Giles, yes. Anderson. Nick Anderson, I think, has to prove himself a little bit, but I suppose, sure, Taylor Rogers. Alex Colomé, Sean Doolittle, Raisel Iglesias, Joey Jimenez, Brad Hand, Craig Kimbrell, Ian Kennedy, Brandon Workman, Hansel Robles. I mean, yeah, so it says here, the unconventional D-backs are unlikely to have anyone be their regular closer, but they'd love 2020 Bradley to return to being 2017 Bradley, no matter what role he holds. So, like, yeah, in past years, he was definitely better, but I don't know. I like him better in this setup role.
Take a look at a pitch.
He definitely, this year at least, in my sim, like, his ability as a closer, I'd say, was probably close to top 10.
No, that's down.
But it was, you know, how long can he ride that momentum?
Runner at first with 2 gone. And he pulled up in time, but it's a cold strike 2. Hit out towards second. Marte gloves it.
And the answer is until the very last
gone now as the inning is over. 1 hit. Cole Calhoun will stand in now.
Leading off for the Diamondbacks, the designated hitter,
Here now,
Cole
the pitch.
Calhoun.
High and deep down the left field line. And this will wind up a foul.
Part of me wanted to play the percentages and go to Ildemaro Vargas to pinch hit here.
And the 0-1. Ground ball right into the shift. Oh, and he can't pick it up cleanly.
I guess it paid off because he got on.
Nice effort by the shortstop right there.
And
Kept it in front of him.
That's
all he could
catcher,
do right there, Dan.
Steven
Like that.
Vogt. Your attention, please.
Just to knock
Pinch
that
running
ball
at
down
first
was a
base.
pretty good job, but
Number
any way you look
16.
at it, that should
Good.
be
Tim
scored a base hit.
Slides that pitch out. No, not even.
There we go. In there. Now the throw. Short
He's in there. He's safe.
Just before the tag.
Some managers treat the postseason as a time to be aggressive, and that's exactly the case here. They had the speed
He's
burner
safe.
on the move, and it
I'm
worked
surprised
out
that pitch got
nicely
called a
for him.
strike. That's some
Just gotta
bullshit. I
drive
don't
him
get
in
that
now.
call.
On its way, the 0-1 pitch. Runner's on his way
One
to
ball,
Oh, they
third.
got him.
Pitch
No, they didn't.
outside. The
Too late.
throw.
He's in there.
Not in time, as he just does get in there ahead of the throw.
One of the keys to stealing third is
That was
to
a
get
bad jump,
big
too. I
lead
thought
off
for sure
the
they had him.
second, and that's just what happened, even though this catcher has a cannon for an arm.
Good pitch to run on curveball way
1-1.
outside.
There's a swing and a drive hit well out to right field. Back goes Reddick.
Another RBI for
Track.
Vogt. Oh, a two-run shot for Vogt.
And a leaping effort at the wall, but it's in vain. A
Stephen
home
Vogt,
run.
I think, just poked himself into postseason MVP conversation, let alone World Series
A
MVP.
two-run blast to straightaway right field. His third home run of this
Your
series.
attention, please.
And it's now his
3
sixth.
home runs in the series. Only him and Cattell had 3 home runs each.
Number
Right-handed
47.
reliever standing
I think
six.
Vogt's were more
Gets
important.
the ball now out of the
That's
bullpen.
Probably got more hits than Cattell,
Into the
too.
box now, Nick Ahmed. And on the first pitch, he hits it in the air to right. Reddick is there, one away.
I'm still going to stick with Keone Keller for the 9th.
The center
Actually-
fielder, number
Starling
2,
Marte.
Starling.
No, I'm not.
Third baseman
Marte.
in tight, protecting
No.
the bunt, the first pitch. And he'll
1-0.
hold off on the slider here to start the at-bat. It's ball 1. Line towards center field.
Drop. Nice.
And a clean base hit, so he gets off the schneid, as they say, and is now 1 for 5 in the game.
The batter, number 4, second baseman, Cattell Marte.
Into the box,
Bad
Cattell
jump.
Marte. There goes the runner. Pitch is a cold strike. The
0-1.
throw.
Terrible
And
jump. I'm
it's
surprised he
not
made
in
it.
time as
3
he's
stolen bases in
well
the
ahead
inning.
of the throw. Runner at
That was a
second
great
with
pitch,
one
too.
man out.
I'm glad I was taking that. I would ground it out for sure with that.
And he
Inside
misses
ball.
with it, 1-1. Hard hit ball
Oh,
short.
damn.
Throw gets him.
He's
Two
out.
Well, the fact that Cattell didn't do anything in that bat makes me think I know my MVPs, my layout.
Here's
Now
Christian
batting,
Yelich now.
right fielder,
Runner in scoring position
Christian
with Sugan.
Yelich.
Decent lead at second. Here's the pitch. Pitch
Yep.
sharply toward the right
There's
side.
your postseason MVP.
Gets down, and the inning will continue. They're going to extend their lead as the runner scores from second. It's now 7-1.
The batter,
Hopefully this
The
is
first
the
base
regular
Pretty
season
good
MVP
about
right
that.
here.
Not
He
only did
fucking
have a
deserves it.
great
Walker.
AB first pitch hack, but he smoked that ball to mix in a ribby knob.
Nice, get a postseason RBI while you're at it.
Plan of attack walking into that batter's box, and he had an idea of the pitch that he was going to get, and boy, he sure turned.
They'll add on to their total. as the
Christians
run
both
scores
get
all the way
back-to-back
from first.
RBI base hits for Christians.
now batting, the left fielder, David
Come on, D-Train.
So
Peralta.
now to the plate, David Peralta.
See that? I don't get that call, because that's like 3/4 off the plate, or 2/3 off the plate.
High in the air and deep to left
Fuck, I
center
just missed
field.
that one.
Brantley
Oh,
going
D-Train.
back. Gone as it's into the Crawford boxes.
Run it up, baby. Second home run of the game.
Ladies and
Brad
gentlemen,
Peacock
your
is now in a
attention,
mop-up
please.
That makes me
role
wonder
as
who
he'll
gets
Now
the
pitching
third
for the
nomination
Astros
for
is
World Series MVP. Who finishes
number
third place?
41.
Escobar or Peralta? I'm thinking
Brad.
Escobar.
plate, Eduardo Escobar.
Peacock.
And first
Count
pitch
1-0.
is off the plate for a ball, 1-0. That evens it up 1-1.
So I'm going to say World Series MVP is going to go like this. Number 1, Stephen Vogt. Number 2, Ketel Marte. Number 3, Eduardo Escobar.
Now the pitch.
Postseason MVP, number 1, Christian Yelich. Number 2, Stephen Vogt. Number 3, David Peralta or Eduardo Escobar. I'm not sure which.
All even now, 2-2. 2 out, nobody on. To second. Altuve has it.
And it's interesting because like in the first half of like the postseason, I'm gonna stick with Bradley for now.
Leading up for the Astros, the third baseman, Alex Bregman.
Jeez, how many runs did we put on in the ninth? I didn't realize we had a 6-run inning.
Swing and a miss, and he's
No ball,
quickly in
2 strikes.
0-2.
Man, as a pitcher, you have to love pitching 0-2.
This place is empty. All the bandwagon fans. We're getting swept in the World Series. We're down 10-1 in the last game. We're just embarrassing dudes. This is what, our third 10-run game or more in the postseason? I believe we had 3. 1 in each round. We had 1 against the Braves in the final game. We had 1 against the Astros now in the final game. And I believe the first game of the Mets series, we put up 11. Or like, no, we put up like 16. And we put up double digits again in the second game. So this is our 4th one. 4 games we scored double-digit runs. Such a potent offense.
The batter, number 1, shortstop, 0-1 the count, Carlos Correa.
That's in there, and he's deep in the hole now, 0-2.
I want to see how empty this place is.
He's able to make contact, and he'll get another chance.
After I get this second out.
And that is swung on and missed, and things are starting to look bleak here for the home 9. There are 2 away.
The center field.
Yeah, the outfield, pretty damn barren up there. And then down the lines, yeah, this place is like probably half capacity. Just love to see it. Fuck the Astros.
High fastball is in there.
Shot they didn't let it fly right there. Usually you're looking for a fastball elevated to get the
see, like that's 2/3 on the plate still, or 1/3 on the plate still, or in the zone. But no, I don't get the call.
Count is 1-2 now. Last strike now for Houston. Fouled away. Springer belts one, carrying well out to left.
One of the most meaningless home runs you'll ever hit in your life.
Into the Crawford boxes and gone. A solo home run here off the bat of George Springer. His first homer here.
I can't lie, this is actually like hilarious.
8-run ball game.
Yeah, they have everything to lose in this game, but it's obvious they have zero quitting. They're going to battle until the last
batting, right fielder.
They're that much closer to prolonging the series.
Josh Reddick is in with 2 away now as he looks at a called strike one. And that misses 1-1. Taking called strike 2, and now they're down to their final strike tonight. Neither
at least George Springer can say he didn't go down without a fight.
Battle continue. Ready with another 2-strike offering. Struck him out, and it's over.
There it is.
They are World
the Arizona Diamondbacks are 2020 World Champions.
Wow, World Series champions. The only thing that could have made this sweeter would have been doing it in front of the home crowd. But hey, they're not complaining, believe me. Now they can look forward to celebrating during the parade as they bring the World Series trophy home. What a moment for this team, this organization, and that city.
Back now on the show. It's all over, and you see the reactions there to the final out. And down on the field, we'll get a chance to watch the presentation of the Commissioner's Trophy to the new World Champs.
World champs, plus 12 in the team affinity. Let's see how we finally did. Grade A+, unbelievable. Record 119 and 43, first in the NL West. Right around game 19 or so, we had a huge uproar. Huge winning streak, it seems. And then petered a little bit, but constant going up. And then, yeah, we were on track to be a lot better than we were. This run really surprised me and didn't go at all in the way I expected to at pretty much any point. We had the emergence of Christian Walker in a way that I didn't expect. Probably one of my best builds ever when it comes to trades. And I even got to the point where I passed up on a fourth trade that I could have made. I still held on to a couple of prospects too, I believe. Yeah, I mean, this team was loaded. I mean, we had in the lineup, we had Starling Marte, Ketel Marte, David Peralta, Christian Yelich, Christian Walker, Eduardo Escobar, Stephen Vogt, Nick Ahmed, guys that just we had the continuing emergence of Ketel Marte, the kind of coming out of Starling Marte a little bit more, David Peralta coming about a little bit more too, the huge emergence of Christian Walker, the addition of Christian Yelich, and then the pitching side of things too. We added you look at what they did in the offseason. They added Madison Bumgarner in the offseason as well, and Starling Marte. So this team had such a different identity last year compared to this year. The addition of Starling Marte, Madison Bumgarner, Christian Yelich, Eduardo Rodriguez, Keone Kela, and then you also had the breakout of Ketel Marte last year. He became kind of the face of the team while David Peralta continued to improve, and then also Christian Walker. So yeah, and then I could have also at the end of that, I think I had one last trade opportunity for either Johnny Cueto, I think Andrew Miller, and I don't remember who the third one was, but I passed up on it. Hindsight, I kind of wish I took it, but whatever. So take one last look at the standings. Just yeah, nothing really too surprising actually. We finished ranked 4th overall. This was a team that I want to say was like 17th or 16th, I don't know. In the wheel up there in the top right corner. We scored 76 runs in the postseason, only gave up 21. The Yankees actually scored more runs than we did, and they only played in the first 2 rounds. That's kind of surprising. They also gave up 64 runs. My guess is they were probably the first best offense. We were ranked 2nd. The Astros actually scored 92 runs, too, for that matter. Wow. So our 76 runs actually ain't shit compared to their 92. But they also gave up 103. We only gave up 21, which was incredible considering that is the least amount given up by any team that went past the wild card. Oh shit, my controller's actually dying since I had to unplug it. Oh my god, Kyle made another random friend, it seems. Or... no, my bad, it's actually James. Well, it looks like I'm downloading Farming Simulator 19 because it's this month's free game. We finished 8th in contact, 9th in power, 4th in pitching, 10th in defense, 3rd in speed. Absolutely well-rounded. You look at the other top teams, the only other well-rounded would be the Dodgers. And even then, they were out. So we were top 10 in everything. Dodgers weren't top 10 in speed or contact. The Yankees weren't top 10 in defense or speed. The Twins weren't top 10 in pitching, defense, or speed. The Astros were top 10 in everything as well. They were 3rd. Who's 5th? The Cubs were 6th. Who's 5th? Probably the Rays. 7th. Who the hell's the 5th ranked? The Indians. Okay. So we'll take a look at this player boosts first. I'll start with Bumgarner. So Madison Bumgarner was a perfect game opportunity that I did not get. Erod was a trade opportunity. Christian Yelich was a trade opportunity. Ketel Marte was a regular opportunity. Christian Walker was a regular one, and that really paid off. Zach Gallen was a no-hitter that I did and didn't get. He only went 8 innings, but the game was combined no-hitter, so we still got the credit for it. Luke Weaver, same deal. I think Luke Weaver actually got it, though. I can't remember. Luke Weaver or Zach Gallen, one of them actually went the whole distance on a no-hitter. The other one was 8 innings. So I had 7 player boosts. And then I did get one for Eduardo Escobar, but... yeah, Escobar didn't get a player boost, so I would have had 8. Okay, really quick, I gotta set this to download, and hopefully it doesn't annihilate my PlayStation, because the store sometimes makes my PlayStation break. I'm just gonna search it. Farming Simulator 19. Okay. PlayStation's acting really buggy right now, but it's still chugging along. Okay. So back to what I was doing though. Take a look at the stats. Now before I look at these, I do think I'm sticking with what I said before. Postseason MVP and World Series MVP. World Series MVP is going to be Stephen Vogt 1, Ketel Marte 2, Eduardo Escobar 3. Maybe swap. No, definitely that in that order. Postseason MVP, Christian Yelich 1, Stephen Vogt 2, and then anyone of David Peralta, Eduardo Escobar for third. I'm not sure about that, but right. So postseason stats: Luke Weaver pitched in 1 game. He made 1 appearance. Didn't even record an out. He threw 3 pitches and gave up 3 hits, 2 runs. He blew. Mike Leake actually didn't pitch at all, and I'm sad about that because he deserved it. Merrill Kelly actually pitched in I think 4 games, 2 games. He only pitched in 2 games. Pitched 4 innings. He took a loss. 2.25 ERA, 0.75 WHIP, 3 hits, 1 run allowed. I'm surprised I only used him that much. Andrew Chafin pitched in 3 innings. He struck out 3 guys in 2 games. Yohan Lopez pitched in 3 games, 2 2/3 innings, struck out 3 guys. Hector Rondon pitched in 2 innings across 2 games. He struck out 2 guys. Archie Bradley pitched in 4 games for 5 innings, struck out 7 guys, recorded a save. Keone Kela pitched in 6 games. He got 6 saves across 6 innings, struck out 12. So really locked down out of the bullpen. Gave up only 1 hit, which was a home run. So other than that, he was perfect. Stefan Crichton pitched in 1 game for 1 inning, struck out 2 guys. Madison Bumgarner pitched in, I think, 4 games, was it? Yeah, 4 games. He pitched in game 2 of the ALDS, 2 of the ALCS, and then 4 of the ALCS as well. And then game 1 of the World Series. Or no, game 5 of the NLCS. I'm sorry, first of all, it's the NL. And he pitched in game 5. And they pitched in game 1 of the World Series. So 4 games, 4 starts. He went 2-0 across 30 innings. He struck out 41 guys. 1.80 ERA, a .90 WHIP. 26 hits. His WHIP doesn't seem like it should be that low. Actually, no, I guess that makes sense. And then at 1.80 ERA, 7 runs, 6 earned, 3 home runs. Yeah, pretty good. Really lights out. Robbie Ray even more lights out. Pitched in only 2 games, right? Yeah, game 4 of both series. He went 2-0, 14 innings, struck out 18. Gave up 8 hits, 2 runs. Eduardo Rodriguez pitched in 3 games. He was my game 3 starter for all 3 series, I believe. 21 innings, 27 strikeouts, 1.71 ERA, 0.57 WHIP, 10 hits, 4 runs. And then Zach Gallen was my game 1 starter, unfortunately, for the first 2 series, and then game 2 starter in the World Series. He went 3-0, 19 1/3 innings pitched, struck out 30, 1.40 ERA, 0.57 WHIP. He only gave up 10 hits, 3 runs. Yeah, pretty solid. Position players. Jake Lamb never got an at-bat. Kind of sad about that. Everyone else got at least 1. Kind of surprised about that. How big is this farming simulator download? Okay, so yeah, Jake Lamb did not get a single at-bat. That's a little sad. Ildemaro Vargas got 1 at-bat, and he got a hit. Dude got a base hit. Was it anything? No, it was just a single. But yeah, he did what he did. Carson Kelly had 11 at-bats. Platoon catcher, only batting against lefties. So only played 3 games, 11 at-bats. He got 1 hit for a .091 average. What was his hit? Also a single. Tim LeCastro, I'm surprised got 5 at-bats. No hits in those 5 at-bats, but I did use him in 4 games as a pinch runner. So he scored 3 runs on the base paths and stole 6 bases. So it show WAR for players? So yeah, his WAR was positive because of those stolen bases. Stephen Vogt got most of the playing time at catcher, and he was actually a big surprise, especially in the latter half, from like mid LCS onward. In his 9 games, he had 35 at bats. He had 13 hits for a 371 average, scored 8 runs, went deep 5 times, 5 home runs, 9 RBIs, 371 average. Stephen Vogt is going to be probably second or first runner-up, second place in MVP for postseason. Cole Calhoun got to pinch hit in every game at least once, for the most part, and then was my DH in the 2 AL games. So he had 15 at-bats. He got 8 hits. So that's a really, wow, 533 average for Cole Calhoun. He went deep once, 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Cole Calhoun was actually a very consistent bat in his plate appearances. Starling Marte, little bit disappointing, but like, yes and no, because he had 48 at-bats. He was my leadoff guy. He had the third most at-bats on the team. And he only had 10 hits, so his average was only 208. But on the flip side of that, he still scored 5 runs. He hit 3 home runs, had 9 RBIs, and stole 2 bases. So, like, that's overall pretty damn productive. He had a WAR of 0.2. Christian Yelich, I'm saying, is going to be the postseason MVP. In his 47 at-bats, he had 23 hits for a 489 average, which is crazy. He scored 14 runs on the base paths, so the most out of anyone in the lineup. Had 5 home runs, tied for first with Stephen Vogt, 6 RBIs. I thought he had more than that, so that's a little disappointing. A lot of solo shots for Yelich, and a stolen base. So I think Yelich is going to take the MVP because they tied in home runs. Vogt has him in the RBI department, but Yelich has him in the average and hit department. Nick Ahmed. Nick Ahmed was a nice surprise, mainly known for his defense. Ahmed had 41 at-bats. He had 16 hits for a 390 average. Scored 11 runs. He went deep 3 times, had 8 RBIs, and stole a base. Like, I can be very satisfied with that. Like, a lot. Out of anyone, let alone someone just known for their fielding, that's amazing, actually. Christian Walker actually went quiet in the postseason. In his 47 at-bats, he only had 13 hits for a 277 average, which is not bad per se, but for his standard, a little bit low. Only 2 home runs, which is also low on his standard. I would have expected him to be the beast that he was all season in the playoffs. 8 RBIs, though, and he stole a base. Scored 6 runs, so not bad. David Peralta really stepped up the later into the postseason we went. In his 51 at-bats, which was tops on the team somehow, he had 15 hits for a 294 average, scored 8 runs, went deep 4 times, and then had 11 RBIs. So he actually had the most RBIs on the team in the postseason. So I think Peralta will get 3rd place for the MVP for postseason. Eduardo Escobar also got better as time went on. If Peralta doesn't get 3rd in that, because it's tough to tell. Peralta had 1 more RBI. Escobar had a average that was 0.004 points higher. Maybe Escobar gets, I don't know. Either one of these two could be interchangeable for 3rd place. So yeah, he had in his 47 at-bats, 14 hits for a 298 average, scored 10 runs, went deep 4 times as well, 10 RBIs. I just sent the wrong screenshot. Okay. And then Ketel Marte, who really was like the guy that was just kind of there. I said that was going to be him, and he actually it turned out to be Christian Walker, surprisingly. Ketel really got hotter as this postseason progressed. In 49 at-bats, he had 18 hits for a 367 average. Went deep 3 times, all in the World Series. 8 RBIs, 3 stolen bases. I stole a lot more bases than I normally do, just in the postseason alone. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14 stolen bases in the postseason. So we'll take a look at the regular season numbers, starting with the pitching. And we'll start with Luke Weaver, who got his overall up to 79 with B potential. He's only 26. I think he's got a chance to get better. Just did not have the best year for me. And again, not the worst, but also just not up to my standards with the team that I had. He started in 30 games, despite the fact that I said I don't want him in my rotation. I tried so desperately to move him into the bullpen as my 6th guy, spot starter. You know, the same role that Merrill Kelly was in. Poor Merrill Kelly was in the bullpen all year. He went 16-5, so the win-loss isn't bad. Struck out 236. That's actually really good for him. 4.34 ERA is a little north, and then a 1.26 WHIP is all right. Good for a WAR 3.5. So like he's not bad. He's worth the money. Not bad, but just not good enough to start in the rotation. So before I go any further, too, I want to talk about this team for a second, because when I started off, I said to myself that, or before I even got to this team, I said that if there was any team that I was going to have to lower the difficulty on because I'm just not going to have fun with them, this would probably be the last team. So, and after like the first week, I really thought that would still be there. Or after the first game, at least in the first couple, I thought that would be the case. Turned out to be far from it. The first half, we were scorching. The pitching was amazing. Christian Walker was amazing. And then the second half hit, and we made these trades for more pitching, bullpen arms, and a lineup bolster, because why not? And I expected this team to just soar to unbelievable heights and be like my best run yet. And it just didn't. It didn't turn out to be the case. It was, like I said, probably one of my best built teams because of players that were emerging, and then also the trades that I made. But it just did not turn out that way. The second half, all the pitching, their numbers went up a lot higher. So, like, I'm sure Luke Weaver's ERA was not that high for the majority of the year. He might have been one of the only ones that were actually it was. But I digress. Yeah, the pitching, like both bullpen and starting. I mean, the bullpen was pretty solid for the most part. The bullpen never really staggered at all. The starting rotation kind of hit a rough patch, though. They came back around in the postseason. Same with the offense. The offense was very like alive, and then we ended up finishing second. So there was a team with a better offense than us still, which was surprising. Because in the first half, there was not a chance that anyone was better than us offensively. So yeah, that's just kind of. It's weird how this year went down. We only won 119. I say only as if that's not the all-time record, but still. So there's Luke Weaver. Did he do anything offensively? Because I got to check some in an NL team. I mean, he got 5 RBIs, 10 hits. Not bad. Mike Leake. Mike Leake got his overall up to 75, and for a guy whose attributes were that low, had a very incredible year. I wish he was in my rotation year-round. I think he deserved to be. He also got 7 hits and 2 RBIs, too, really quick offensively. But Mike Leake played in 40 games, started 22 of them, so he went 15-3, and even got 2 holds out of the bullpen. 186 and 2/3 innings pitched. He struck out 148, which for him is his highest since 2014, and his second highest in his career. A 2.60 ERA is incredible for him, and really great to have in general. 1.11 WHIP, same deal. Good for a WAR of 3.6, worth every penny, I think. I wish he was one of my. I wish he was in my rotation. Merrill Kelly, I didn't give really a fair chance to. 72 overall, D potential, 31 years old. So this is probably his peak. You know, he's not going to start declining yet, but this is probably where he's kind of topping out. And he did solid for me. He also got 1 hit. He got a base hit, so that's cool. And he scored a run. In 34 games, he didn't start any. He went 5-1 with a save and 5 holds out of the bullpen. 54 innings pitched. Struck out 53 guys. 3.33 ERA, 1.13. ERA is solid. WHIP is pretty good. Good for a WAR 0.5. I know, I wish I used him more. Andrew Chafin saw his overall go up to 78. 29 years old with C potential. I'd say he's alright. Offensively, he didn't do anything. Didn't get a single at bat. But pitching-wise, he came out of the bullpen 29 times, went 3-0, saved 2 games, blew 4 saves, but he never took a loss. 11 holds. 29 and 3rd innings pitched. He struck out 38 batters. 3.38 ERA, 109 WHIP. The WHIP's great. ERA, not bad. Or I'd say good. That's pretty good. Low 3s. Anything below 3.5. Good for a WAR 0.3. But that was a lot lower for the majority of the year, I believe. So that's the thing. A lot of these numbers, these ERAs, were a lot lower up until about August. Yohan Lopez, big surprise for me. Yes and no on the surprise side. B potential, 74 overall. It went up. I said at the start of the year I liked him. He was 69 overall, so it went up 5 points, which is nice. I said he's got good potential, and I didn't think he would be this good. 67 appearances, 5-1 with a save, 2 blown, 10 holds, 72 innings pitched. He struck out 70, a 2.25 ERA and a 1.10 WHIP. This is and a 1.3 WAR. This is a guy who is probably my most dependable arm to go to that wasn't in the closing role. Well, maybe, because then there's also Hector Rondon. 75 overall, went up. Also very dependable. 29 games, 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 saves, a blown, 14 holds, 27 1/3 innings pitched. He only got taken deep once for 8 and only gave up 8 earned. Struck out 26 and had a 2.63 ERA, 1.46 WHIP. WHIP's a little high, actually. I'm surprised. The ERA is good. That WHIP's a little on the higher side for him. 0.5 WAR. I'd say he was worth the money. And I didn't realize this is actually his second World Series ring. He was with the Cubs. I kind of remember that. Archie Bradley went into the closer role and excelled. 84 overall, just shy of going diamond, but went gold. Worth the money on his contract. He made 42 appearances. He was my closer right up until I traded for Keone Kelo in like early July. So to go in there 42 times, get 3 wins, a loss, and still have 26 saves, 6 blown is a little rough. 7 holds is alright. 37 innings pitched. 10 earned runs. Only got taken deep once. That's what you want out of a closer. 2.43 ERA, 1.14 WHIP. His ERA was down and like underneath 2 at one point. So that's a little bit, but whatever. The overall, still great numbers. 1.3 WAR. Probably could have used him as my closer and not traded for Kella and been fine. But I didn't have the entire faith in him. I didn't realize he's only 27. I feel like he's been around a lot longer than that. But what were his 2017 numbers like? 'Cause I know he was a lot better in 2017. Oh, no. That's 18. Yeah, 2017, he was... Wow, look at those 2017 numbers. Good numbers. Keone Kela. I don't know what his numbers were when I traded for him. But he came across from the Pirates and got his overall up to 86, went diamond. 57 appearances. He made 39 saves altogether between both teams. 4 losses on there, 5 blown saves, 2 holds, no wins. 55 innings pitched even. Struck out 69 batters, 1.96 ERA, 0.98 WHIP, 1.4 WAR. Yeah, that's top of the line right there. That's pretty good. That's probably top 10 for closers. Stefan Crichton, whatever you want to call him. 71 overall, it went up. Don't really have much to say about this guy. He was alright, for me at least, but computer didn't really like him. 33 games, he went 4-4, 4 holds, 35 innings pitched. He struck out 34 batters. Had an ERA of 4.11, so that's a little bit high. WHIP of 1.31, so that's alright. WAR of 0. So, yeah, he was kind of just there. But whatever. Now we'll get into the starters, and I'll start with Bumgarner, I guess. Bumgarner went back to the Bumgarner of old a little bit, so his overall go back up to 90. He's diamond and one of the better starting pitchers in the game this year. 33 appearances, 33 starts, he went 20-8. That's a career high in the win category for him. 245 2/3 innings pitched is also a career high. He was the clear-cut ace of the staff. I don't know if there was ever a time where he was the clear-cut ace with pitchers that were at his level, because obviously he was the ace of the Giants in like 2019 because they didn't have shit. Actually, that's a lie. They had Cueto and Samardzija, but like, you know, there's always been, on paper at least, he was the clear-cut ace. Actually, I guess that's happened before. Retract that statement. But either way, he had an absolute monster year. I didn't check these guys offensively. I think I stopped with Merrill Kelly or Chafin. Just really quick, I want to see any of these guys get 2 at-bats. Nothing happened. 1 at-bat, nothing happened. No at-bats. 1 at-bat, nothing. And 1 at-bat, nothing. Because Bumgarner here, offensively, had 76 at-bats. He got 18 hits, 4 runs scored. He doubled twice. Didn't have any regular season home runs. But if we look at the postseason, which I did not do, for my pitchers. He had 4 hits in the postseason, scored 3 runs, and had a home run and 2 RBIs. No other pitcher. Zach Gallen got 1 hit. No other pitcher got. But Bumgarner had 4 hits, 3 runs, a home run, and 2 RBIs. So that's actually really good for him. But yeah, his overall went back up to 90, and he had a great year. Went 20-8, so that's a great win-loss to have. This is Cy Young material. 20 wins, 260 strikeouts, career high, and a 2.78 ERA, 107. That's a great whip. Really good ERA, great whip. Good for a WAR. 7.2 as a pitcher. Bumgarner, if he can go 5 more years at this level, I think he's Hall of Fame. I'm saying, again, 5 more years at this level, which is not easy to maintain because he's 30 and he's already been around for 10 years. But I think he could do it because if he could go, and these lines right here hurt. If he could, if these were double-digit wins, like 10 more there, you know, maybe 10 more there, and then probably 5 more there, we're talking about another 25 more wins on top of where he's already at. It just sucks that he was on a shit team for these years. You know, they were still decent enough to make the postseason there at least. Just looking at him, he's got 3 World Series rings, 2010, 12, and 14. Now 4, if you count it this, but in real life, he's got 3 World Series rings, 4 in this. That performance in 2014, no less, in the postseason. Now he's putting up Cy Young numbers in 2020. I mean, his career ERA is just above 3. His career WHIP is just above 1.1. If he can go 5 more years at this level, he'll be around 250 wins, give or take. He'll be below them, but close. And he'll have 3,000 strikeouts if he can continue to strike out 200 for 5 more years. Which isn't too unheard of, but at the same time, it's really dependable. Because he's not a guy that's, like, really depending on his velocity, per se. Like, his velocity's not the worst, but, you know, so he's not going to, like, throw his arm out throwing that fastball so much. And then a WAR of 7.2 this year, so 49.5 WAR on the career. I think, again, 5 more years at this level, and he's Hall of Fame, potentially. You know, I don't think it's a surefire guarantee, but I think if he gets that 3,000 strikeout mark, 200 wins, and his WAR probably gets to about 69, 65, that area. Because if he goes 5 more years, even at 3, he'll get up to 64. So yeah. But great year. Cy Young material right there. We'll see how the others did. Robbie Ray got his overall up to 84, 1 shy of going diamond, but he had a really great year as well. If Bumgarner doesn't get the Cy Young, it might be because this guy did, because his ERA is a little bit lower, and he struck out a few more guys, and he has 1 more win. So he went 21-4 in 31 starts, struck out 271, 2.74 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, good for a WAR of 5.0. Robbie Ray really killed it this year, career year for sure, in the wins department. And the strikeouts, and the ERA. So yeah, Robbie Ray, really phenomenal this year. Cy Young material as well. Eduardo Rodriguez, I know his ERA was, I want to say, like 3.8. No, I don't know where his ERA was when you traded him. I don't know what his numbers were at all. The only number I can remember is Christian Yelich having 25 home runs on the trade. But Erod, 16-8, struck out 245, 3.78 ERA. So a career year for Erod still. The ERA is a little bit high still. Like, it's not bad by any means, but still. He went diamond, by the way, 89 overall. And he got a hit. He got a double. Scored 2 runs. Whoops, wrong way. I did check Bumgarner's already. So Erod, not bad. I didn't check his WAR. Good for WAR, 4.2. So yeah, definitely worth the trade. And then Zach Gallen overall went up to 84. I didn't realize this kid is only 24, and this was his like first full year as a starter. This kid's got potential. I think he could be great, and he was for the most part. His ERA kind of petered out towards the end of the year. He went 12-8 in 30 starts. Struck out 232, 3.64 ERA, 1.25 WHIP. He's only 24, and he just put up a 4.4 pitching WAR season, and also got 7 hits, including a double. Drove in 4 RBIs. Yeah, this kid is going to be one of the better kids to play. Yeah. So there's that. So I think Cy Young goes to Robbie Ray, actually. Bumgarner finishing second. Either way, these are my top 2 for Cy Young. I think, unless there's someone that did some crazy shit, one of these 2 will win the Cy Young. The other one will finish second. Looking at the position players, Jake Lamb saw his overall go up to 70. Kind of surprised at that. What was his contract? I mean, he was a pinch hitter and then like a backup. So in his 42 games, he still got 112 at bats, 35 hits, 7 home runs, 21 RBIs. Really, I mean, he fell off. He had 2 great years here, and then really fell off here. I don't know what happened to the kid, but I mean, his average wasn't there in these years, but at least he had the power numbers. 313 average. So we got the average back. Good for a WAR of 1. Yeah, I'll take it. The replacement level, so we'll take it. Ildemaro Vargas. Interesting one to me. As overall all the way up to 76. Better contact hitting than I remember him having. Also pinch hitter or like replacement level. But in 102 at bats, he got 39 hits. 6 home runs, 22 RBIs. Good for a 382 average on the bench. And a WAR of 1.2. We'll take that. Did I look at Jake Lamb's WAR? 1. Okay, yeah. Carson Kelly got his overall up to 80. Carson Kelly went gold. And pretty good fielding catcher. He was platooned. He only started against lefties. And then I'd probably pinch hit him here or there. Or, like, you know, whenever Vogue needed rest if there was a long stretch of righties. So he only played in 74 games. But in 252 at-bats, he had 79 hits. And of those 79, 19 of those were home runs. 51 RBIs. So this right here is about on par for what you'd expect out of him, based on last year at least. Except for this. 313 average. That's pretty damn good. And that OPS is really up there. Good for a WAR of 4.5. As a platooning backup catcher, 4.5 is amazing. I mean, he was more platoon than backup, but still. Tim LeCastro. Got his overall up to 74, and he was mainly my runner. Considering the contract, he was definitely worth it. He's unhappy with his role. He's expecting to platoon moves on the bench. Yeah, I can't really platoon him, though, because, like, his contact is okay, you know, but that's it. That's all he's, and his speed, that's what he's got going for him. He still played in 100 games, which is more than he's ever played before. And he got 314 at-bats. He got 80 hits, 20 doubles, 4 triples, 9 home runs, 38 RBIs, and he also stole 24 bases. Good for a 255 average, for a WAR of 2.5. Now, as a guy that I predominantly would use as a sometimes backup fielder when someone needed an off day, but mainly as just a pinch runner, these are pretty damn good numbers. I'll take them. Stephen Vogue. I'm surprised Vogue's overall went down to 69. He never played in Seattle as far as I know, unless they got traded him in that year, but I know he... Okay, Oakland. I knew it was one of the AL West teams. I'm surprised his numbers went down. He played 122 games. He was my catcher for the most part, especially against righties. And I'd say he was worth the money. $3 million for a guy that got 122 hits, 26 of which were doubles, 23 home runs, 64 RBIs, hell, a stolen base, why not, and a 303 average out of a catcher, a WAR of 5.2. This is great. This is really good. You don't see catchers do 300 average, 20 home runs. You don't. You just don't. Like, there are some, but that's not, they're few and far between. Cole Calhoun. His overall went up to 76. Calhoun was my starting right fielder up until July when I made the trade for Yelich. Can hit righties pretty well. Pop a little bit against lefties as well. Pretty good fielder. I didn't realize he was as solid as a fielder as he was. He then turned into my guaranteed pinch hitter. So he still played 127 games. And got 398 at-bats, 110 hits. That's pretty good. 15 home runs. I didn't realize he had 33 home runs last year. Wow. 15 home runs. So he probably would have been on pace to finish about in that neighborhood if he started the entire year. 56 RBIs, 276 average. Not bad, not bad. Definitely take that from him. 2.9 WAR. So if I didn't replace him, he probably would have been playing at a satisfactory level for me. Yeah. So I'm happy with that. Starling Marte. Starling Marte got his overall to 85. He went diamond. Great arm, decent fielding, solid speed, Good contact against righties, at least. I was hoping he would break out more in the hitting department, but he didn't. But whatever. I'll take what I can with him. I'm satisfied with his performance for the most part, I believe. Yeah, 148, 9 games he played. So you got 100 runs scored on the base paths. That's pretty cool. 176 hits. And the dude had a 2020 season. He had 37 doubles, 23 home runs, 97 RBIs. This is a leadoff. This is a leadoff hitter hitting 23 home runs and getting 97 RBIs, stealing 37 bases as well. So a 2020 season with a 303 average, all out of the leadoff spot. Good for a WAR of 6.0. If the home runs, if the power numbers were there more, I'd say that's MVP. But the power numbers weren't there. But that's fine. He's not a power hitter. That was me, hoping maybe he could break out. But that's not too expected of him. Christian Yelich saw his overall go up to 96. It's Christian Yelich, So my thing with Yelich is, oh God, he might be the MVP again. 158 games, 192 hits, 42 home runs. So he hit 17 home runs with us. He had 25 when he came across. I don't know how many RBIs he had. To be 131 on the season. Another 2020 year for Yelich. 25 stolen bases, 340 average. Good for a WAR in right field of 9.8. Yelich is another guy where if he can maintain this pace for 5 more years, we're looking at close to 400 home runs. Potentially like 2,300 hits and a career average in the 300 mark, because that would get his WAR, give or take, 5 more years of that above 70. I think it's very dependable because he's not like your stereotypical. He doesn't look like your prototypical power hitter for the most part. Like, he's obviously a bigger dude still, but I'd say right now this is MVP. From what I've seen so far, Christian Yelich is probably going to be the NL MVP. Nick Ahmed got his overall up to 82. Great fielder. Born in Massachusetts. Love to see that. Decent speed. And he can hit lefties a little bit. And he really kind of broke out for me offensively. 156 hits. I didn't want to trade Ahmed or like bench him and trade for a shortstop because of his fielding. And I'm kind of glad because he ended up coming through. As a guy who's going to bat as like a 7 through 9 spot, for the most part, he got 156 hits, 40 doubles, 22 home runs, 78 RBIs, 286 average. That's very satisfactory. 7.2 WAR. That is very good, and I will take that any day of the week. I'm going to save Christian Walker for last. David Peralta's overall went up to 88. Wow, D-Train went diamond. Can field, he just can't throw. Speed's not really there. Not that he's like slow, but and his hitting, I was expecting his hitting to break out a little bit more in the power department. Not that it's bad, but the dude did great for me. 147 games, 149 hits, 29 home runs, 91 RBIs, stole 10 bags too, 289 average, good for a WAR of 5.6. I'm happy with that. He was always my number 2 hitter or my number 5 hitter. 2 hitter against lefties, 5 hitter against righties, and I'll take those numbers for that position in the lineup. Eduardo Escobar is a little bit of a surprise to me. His overall went 85, so Eduardo Escobar is a diamond. I was hoping that he would also get improved a little bit. He was interesting. Against righties, he was more of a power hitter. Against lefties, he was more of a contact hitter, but I guess that's what you get with a switch hitter. Good fielder, though. Solid enough speed. I did not do too well with him, but overall, he did really well. He was always my number against. Where did I bat him? Against lefties, I batted him 5th. Against righties, he was hitting 6th. So to put up 157 hits, 32 home runs, 106 RBIs, and a 262 average in the 5 or 6 spot, you'd love to see it. Great to have. 4.4 WAR, worth it. Awesome. Ketel Marte. I was expecting him to have a much better year. I mean, his attributes are great. Great fielder, decent speed, turning into a great hitter. I was hoping the power numbers would show up a little bit more because the contact's definitely there. Not that the power is bad. His overall is 89, so he's diamond. He was mainly my second baseman. And like, not that he had a bad year, but for a guy that I was hitting cleanup as against righties, so he's batting second against lefties, cleanup against righties. And these are not bad numbers by any sense. This is a great year. You put up 193 hits, 31 home runs, 102 RBIs, 11 stolen bags, because why not, and a 333 average, good for a WAR of 8.9. That's an incredible year. I was just expecting more based on what these sims normally do for guys. He's only 26, A potential, and his overall was already pretty high. But the one who really stood out, Christian Walker. Christian Walker got his overall up to 83, so he's gold. He should have been diamond, and he's, who was MVP? Who did I say was MVP? Yelich. If Yelich is an MVP, it's the other Christian, because Christian Walker had 177 hits, 46 home runs, 122 RBIs, 321 average, at first base a WAR of 8. To me, it's got to be down to one of the Christians. Absolutely, Christian Walker's the team MVP. He put the offense on his back for the first 3 months. And that's the thing. He had like 30 home runs going into July. So to only have 16 home runs in the second half, he could have had a much better year than he did. I think I'm still going to go with Yelich for MVP, but I think Walker finishes second. Yelich had the better year, but most valuable, Christian Walker was more valuable than Christian Yelich for the most part, especially to this team. So I'm saying Robbie Ray or Bumgarner for Cy Young, one of the Christians for MVP, World Series MVP, Stephen Vogt, postseason MVP, Christian Yelich. Let's see what we get when we continue in franchise. Take a look at the calendar. Let's see if we had any large win streaks or anything like that. Right here. Oh man, right here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this was all mostly computer simmed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We had a 17-game win streak that was mainly the computers doing, which was surprising to me. Then we lost 3 straight. A couple of win streaks here and there, like a 4-game one. Sweep the Mets. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A 7-game win streak there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-game win streak there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 before dropping the last one before the All-Star break. Swept the Marlins. Another 5-game win streak there. Jeez. That was a blowout. Yeah, so just overall, really great year. Check the awards. World Series MVP Stephen Vogt. He had a 563 average in the World Series, 3 home runs, 4 RBIs. Pretty well deserved. Postseason MVP. So how does Cody Bellinger win postseason MVP over someone on the Red Sox? I don't get that. I don't understand. I've never seen this award given out in real life either. Howie Kendrick definitely deserved it last year, but Christian Yelich won postseason MVP though. He had a 500 average. I thought he had a 5 home runs, 5 RBIs. Nick Ahmed finished second, which is surprising. Cattell finished third. These numbers aren't right. Something's wrong here. Is this the ALCS MVP award in secret? Because that would... Wait, hold on. Yeah, this is definitely just the ALCS MVP award, but it says postseason MVP. So Yelich went 500, because Cattell had 3 home runs in the World Series. So that wouldn't make sense for him to... Yeah. Okay, so this... I finally figured it out. I never really tried to figure it out too much, but this is definitely just the League Championship Series MVP. It even says right there. Yeah, look at the actual plaque itself. National League Championship Series MVP. Something Junior Award, American League Championship Series Most Valuable Player. So Christian Yelich was the LCS MVP. He had 5 home runs in the LCS. Cool. Silver Slugger. Ketel Marte finished 3rd for outfield. Yelich got 1 though, so that's cool. Eduardo Escobar finished 3rd for 3rd base. Yeah, seems fine. Walker got 1 for 1st base. Cool. Bumgarner finished 3rd for pitcher. I don't... Actually, maybe I can see a Gold Glove. Yelich finished Third in the Gold Glove for right field. Peralta finished second for left field. That's pretty cool. I'm surprised Ahmed wasn't in the top 3 for shortstop, considering he won it the last 2 years. That was my favorite for Gold Glove. I don't see any other Gold Gloves besides that then. Yeah. Hank Aaron Award goes to Christian Yelich. Rookie of the Year, we didn't have anyone. Reliever of the Year. Keone Keller finished second for Reliever of the Year. So that's kind of a surprise. Whatever. Batting title went to Christian Yelich, so I think Yelich is going to win MVP over Walker. Cy Young went to Robbie Ray. Okay, so yeah. The 1 extra win, the lower ERA, and the more strikeouts. Yeah, Robbie Ray had a better year than Madison Bumgarner. Although I'm kind of surprised Walker Buehler didn't get it. He had another win and an even way lower ERA, but just less strikeouts. But Robbie Ray wins the Cy Young, and Ronald Acuna Jr. wins the MVP. Wow. Christian Walker doesn't even make top 3. Robbie Ray gets top 2. That's bullshit. I'm going to say that was Christian Walker. Acuna got it, though. Kind of surprising, because he only had I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. So with all that, 2 things I got to do before I close it out for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm done with the underdogs. I'm done with the long shots and the underdogs, and we're moving into contenders. And this is where things are really going to heat up. Up next, I'm looking forward to a couple of contenders. Really, once I get past the Reds and the Rays. Not that there's anything wrong with like the A's or the Phillies, but to me they're still kind of like lower. They're still kind of underdogs, because you're not going to have 8 contenders on top of already having 7 favorites. Nonetheless, Phillies are up next. Phillies, what am I looking forward to in Philadelphia? Aaron Nola, for sure. I think that'll be good. Hector Neris hopefully can keep it together, and if not, I don't know how their bullpen looks, but I know Hector Neris at the back, and I definitely need to work on pitching for them. Their lineup's definitely not bad. Bryce Harper, hello. JT Realmuto, Rhys Hoskins. I love Rhys Hoskins. So pretty solid lineup already. Don't really think I'm going to need anything there. The other guy, they got like other solid pieces around them, like Gene Segura. So can't think of any other Phillies players off the top of my head. But between Hoskins and Harper, I think that'll be fun. And then yeah, focus more on pitching than anything else. I know they got Aaron Nola, but I can't think of anyone besides that. So yeah, Phillies are up next. That'll be fun. And then the last thing before I round out the Diamondbacks, at the end of every March to October run, I go through into here quick and I take a look. I haven't played Diamond Dynasty at all yet, but I take a look at any packs I may have earned and crack them open. I haven't decided who I want to take out of here yet, so I'm not going to open that now. To choose 2 gold, flashback, or legend players. So I'm going to choose 2 of these guys. I'm probably going to save that for later too, because I don't know, but I'll just open this. 4 live series players, 2 bronze, 2 diamond. I got Luke Weaver, Alex Young, who wasn't even on the team at all in my run, Zach Gallen, and Robbie Ray. Cool. And then I got 3 team affinity packs to open. I don't understand what the difference between these and a regular 4-pack is, but that's besides the point. I got a gold. I got Yasmani Grandal. That's the first time I've gotten gold or higher out of these affinity packs, even though the odds are the same as the regular packs. I got 2 golds. I got Ozzie Albies too. Ooh. I might use him. So 2 straight packs with gold in them. That's pretty cool. Solid to have. Nope. Oops. I'm going all over the place here. And Jesus Aguilar. Okay. So that's going to do it. Arizona Diamondbacks. That's your March to October. Phillies start tomorrow.